Session. Today is May 7th, 2024. We'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance led by Commissioner O'Grady.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. As a reminder, this is a public meeting and is being recorded. For those of you who are calling in, please ensure that your line is muted. We appreciate your cooperation. Is there approval of the minutes for the February 6, 2024 general session and the February 1st, 2024 briefing session?
Move approval of the minutes.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Thank you. The minutes have been approved.
Now, I recognize these colors and I recognize this. So I see you, lady, in the front row. I see you.
I said
my
nobody
good
told me to
friend.
wear red today.
Yeah.
Feel a little left out.
And so are we doing something today?
There's a resolution.
The resolution,
A
ladies?
very important resolution.
Okay, all right. I
One that
see
we
the
strongly
Sisters
support.
of Delta Sigma Theta are with us. So welcome to the Franklin County Board of Commissioners. I know we've got some exciting things that we're announcing with you all, and I'm looking forward to that. As an Omega myself, my sister for sorority there. Great to see you all here. Welcome to Franklin County. Look forward to the resolution. Hey, Jerry, how's it going, man? You hanging out with the sisters today, Jerry? All right. I see. They kind of took you over there. You off on the side. They kind of got you like, you over there today, buddy. Right. All right, let's get this agenda. Let's get on with this. All right, first up is the Court of Common Pleas.
Resolution number 37324, resolution authorizing professional services from Always With Us Charities for the Justice for All 2024 Summer Youth Camp in the amount of $25,000.
Good morning, Commissioners. Kimberly Canada, Director of Finance for the Common Pleas Court, and with me is Judge Jaza Page and Mr. George Reese from Always With Us. This resolution approves the contract with Always With Us Charities for professional services for the Common Pleas Court General Justice for All Youth Camp. This camp will be held at the Ohio State University Moritz College of Law and will facilitate up to 50 youth who will learn about criminal law and the overall justice system. The camp is scheduled for one summer session beginning June 3rd, 2024 through June 8th, 2024. Pending any questions, we request your approval.
DCA Bivens, good.
Thank you, Commissioner. Joy Bivens, Deputy County Administrator of Health and Human Services. Just really quick, what is the pipeline? Are you all recruiting? Do you already have the young folks designated? Where are we getting these young folks so they can know, first of all, know about the camp? And then how do they sign up? Is there a website?
Yes, Judge Page, did you want to answer that?
Yes, and good morning, Commissioners, and thank you,
Good morning, Judge.
Deputy Administrator Bivens, for the question. As far as our pipeline, our court, as well as myself, just really posted on social media, as well as our court's website, and we have spots for 50 young people. We have received applications, actually over 50, and it's just pretty much anyone who's interested. The Ohio State University Moritz College of Law also makes the application information available through their website as well.
Outstanding. I was going to ask you, Judge Page, do you have anything else you wanted to offer or say?
I would just say that we are grateful for the funding that we received last year. It was our first time hosting the camp in person, and we had amazing just interest. The young people were awesome. We've had a lot of students from last year who have applied again this year, and a lot of new students as well. And Always With Us Charities and their staff were great in providing the staffing and the resources that we needed to actually administer the camp. And Moritz has been a great partner as well. So just thank you all for your consideration.
Commissioner Grady, do you have
I was
something?
just going to tell Judge Page I had lunch with my brother yesterday, so I had to hear, as he refers to them, some Page and Beatty stories yesterday, referring to Judge Page and Judge Beatty. My brother was Judge Page and Judge Beatty's school teacher, so But I got some good scoop.
Well, do tell, do
I got some
tell. I
good-
mean, you can't leave us all hanging like that, you know?
No, he has nothing but great things to say about Judge Page and Judge Beatty, so.
Yeah, he was our beloved history teacher.
Is it Hartley?
Public School for Girls.
Home School for Girls, CSG. Okay, I thought so. Okay. Outstanding. And then I know that George Reese is also with us, my good friend. George, do you want to add any comments for the camp, about the camp? Maybe he's not on. Is he not on? Oh, okay. So he's not on. Okay. Well, I know that
Sorry about that, Commissioner.
Oh.
We are here, and once again, we are definitely appreciative of the opportunity to grow this camp with in partnership with Morris College of Law. And once again, it's definitely good to see you guys again.
outstanding. I know you do a great job with the camp, and I know that between Judge Page and yourself, those kids are definitely in for a treat and a great experience. So good luck, and invite the commissioners out sometime so we can learn more about what kind of impact you're having with those young people.
Good to
Definitely.
Good to see you, Mr. Reese. Well, if there's no other comments or questions, I will move approval of Resolution 373-24.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 373-24 has been adopted.
Thank you,
Thank
engineer.
you.
Resolution number 374-24, resolution adopting the Franklin County Engineers Annual Review and amendment to the 10-year capital improvement program for roads and bridges.
Good morning, Commissioners. Brad Foster, Franklin County Engineer. Commissioners, this resolution is an annual resolution which seeks to amend the Franklin County Engineers 10-year capital improvement program for roads and bridges in 2024. The Franklin County Engineer has evaluated the roads and bridges and updated our 10-year capital improvement program based on urgent needs and necessity for projects. There are currently 75 projects in the plan. 11 road and bridge projects were completed and removed from the plan last year. Pending any questions, I ask for your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 374-24.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 374-24 has been adopted. Resolution number 375-24, MS Consultants Incorporated, consulting engineers appointed to assist the Franklin County Engineer by providing professional services for the Ferris Road from Minnie Road to Cleveland Avenue Improvement Project, Clinton Township, Franklin County, Ohio, in the amount of $835,102.
Commissioners, our next resolution seeks approval of a contract with MS Consultants appointed to assist the Franklin County Engineer by providing professional services for the Ferris Road from Minnie Road to Cleveland Avenue Improvement Project. MS Consultants is a local engineering firm and was chosen via ODOT's qualification-based selection process. The project is funded by MORPSI attributable dollars and community project funding through Congresswoman Beatty's office. This project will reconstruct Ferris Road, improve drainage, and add shared use path and sidewalk along the corridor. Pending any questions, I ask for your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 375-24.
I'd just like to acknowledge Congresswoman Beatty's office for working so hard to work with us as a county. She's also a member of the Delta Sigma Theta sorority, so doing great things and certainly helping keep us safe and
She's
grow
been
the
a strong partner for the infrastructure program, for sure. Thank you.
Yeah, outstanding. Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 375-24 has been adopted. Resolution number 376-24, resolution awarding contract and approving contract bond to J&J Schlegel Incorporated for Klaus Road drainage improvements in the amount of $447,721.90.
Commissioners, this resolution seeks to award the contract and approve the contract bond to J&J Schlegel for the Klaus Road Drainage Improvement Project located in northeast Franklin County and Plain Township. This project will install 1,100 feet of new 42-inch storm sewer. J&J Schlegel was selected via competitive bid process with a bid opening on April 16, 2024. This is a locally funded project, and the engineer's Equitable Business Enterprise Program has been implemented. The EBE goal is 8%. K. Davis, along with Garcia Surveyors, are the EBE subcontractors. The utilization plan form submitted by J&J Slagle anticipates the EBE goal percentages being exceeded. Pending any questions, I ask for your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 376-24.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 376-24 has been adopted. Resolution number 377-24, Heritage Estates accepted for public maintenance and shall become part of the Brown Township Road System, Franklin County, Ohio.
Commissioners, our final resolution seeks approval of Heritage Estates subdivision to be accepted as part of the public road system and maintenance responsibility turned over to Brown Township. The engineer's office has inspected the streets and determined that they meet the requirements and specifications. The resolution represents the final legislative step and allows the developer to proceed with selling homes. Pending any questions, I ask for your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 377-24.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 377-24 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd also like to recognize, Friday, Engineer Foster and I went down to Pickaway County, spent some time down in Carroll, Ohio with, for the Central District County Commissioners Association, a County Engineers Association meeting. And had, reminiscent of most of my entire, I guess, academic career, sat in the back of the room. We sat together for the entire thing. It was a good meeting, hosted by Commissioner Fix. Commissioners Levesey and Davis also were hosts, but Commissioner Fix pretty much ran the meeting, and Jeff's a good friend, but Brad, I appreciate you keeping me company. I was the only Democrat in the room, about 50 or so people, and I was the entirety of the Democratic caucus of the event. So Brad kept me company, and I appreciate that. Thank you.
I appreciate you sitting next to me, and it's nice to see what our surrounding counties are doing and
Yeah.
everything that's going on, and we'll continue to collaborate with those counties and make Central Ohio stronger. So,
Yeah, they ran a good meeting, and we represented Franklin County well. So
yep. Thank you very much. I appreciate you bringing that up.
thanks.
Okay, next, Law Library.
Resolution number 378-24, resolution accepting grant funds for the Law Library from the statewide consortium of county law library resources boards in the amount of $2,626.56.
Good morning, Commissioners. Law Library Director Jennifer Jones. We have been awarded a grant from the statewide consortium, which is our state agency of which all law libraries are a member. The grant will be used to purchase a new printer, classroom tables, and some custom signage that will better inform our patrons of our services. And pending any questions, we request your approval of accepting the funds and entering the MOU with the consortium.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 378-24.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 378-24 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Before we move on to Office of Aging, I do want to take a personal point of privilege to also recognize Charlie Quinn, who's shadowing me here today and going to spend the day with my office. Charlie, stand up. Where are you? He's not here? Oh, okay. I thought he was here. Well, he's supposed to be here. Charlie, where are you? Get down here. I don't know if he's up in the office or not, but okay. All right.
Charlie's a Glenn College graduate and has spent some time in the Ohio legislature. He's also a friend of my son's. He's a Xavier University graduate as well. So
Yeah, I'm excited. He
good young man.
came as a recommendation from Commissioner O'Grady, and I'm not sure why they want to shadow me for the day. That'll be an experience, but I'm excited about it. Well, we do this on a regular basis, have folks kind of shadow me, and I never hear from them again, so that should tell you something. But I'm looking forward to it, and we've got a busy day, so he'll get to see a lot. All right, we'll keep it moving. Office of Aging.
Resolution number 379-24, resolution authorizing a contract agreement with Get Creative LLC for media consultant services in the amount of $85,000.
Good morning, Commissioners and County Administration. Amy
Morning.
Finke, Deputy Director of Communications for the Franklin County Office on Aging. This resolution will approve a contract agreement with Get Creative for media consulting services. The Franklin County Office on Aging has been actively expanding its reach through various channels to promote its programs and services, embracing both traditional and digital media. Over the past few years, the Office on Aging has significantly increased its digital presence, especially through social media. To further boost awareness, the Office on Aging is partnering with Get Creative, a specialized creative consulting agency focusing on educational consulting. Get Creative will spearhead a comprehensive social media campaign for the Office on Aging, incorporating video production and creative design to serve as a dynamic educational resource for Franklin County community. This 9-month campaign aims to educate, engage, equip, and empower residents, emphasizing the vital role of the essential services in supporting seniors' independence within families. The campaign's content will be diverse, featuring testimonials, infographics, videos, event promotions, motion graphics, theme days, and more. The goal is to provide residents with valuable information that empowers families and fosters a strong community support system for our seniors. This contract agreement with Get Creative will be for the time period of May 7th, 2024 through December 31st, 2024, for a total dollar amount not to exceed $85,000. Pending any questions, I respectfully request your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 379-24.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 379-24 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion.
Resolution number 380-24, resolution authorizing a transfer of general fund appropriations for support of economic growth through sponsorships and grants that encourage diversity, tourism, and education.
D'Amica Withers, Chief Economic Equity and Inclusion Officer in the Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. This resolution will approve general fund appropriations of $5 million to support Franklin educational opportunities our diverse community.
Hey, Director,
Health and equity, as well as support scholarship and career fair opportunities. Yes. Can I use your computer?
Yeah, you want to,
Yeah, Director, we couldn't hear a word you said.
You want to come back?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Unless there's somebody else that can do D&I, this resolution.
I'm gonna switch over to another connection.
All right, we'll come right back to you. Give us, go ahead and figure that out, and we'll, yeah, maybe try not to turn your video on, and just use the voice.
Is that better?
That's better.
Okay, I apologize. Good morning
Go-
again,
yep, go ahead.
Commissioners and County Administration. D'Amica Withers, Chief Economic Equity and Inclusion Officer in the Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. This resolution will approve general funds of $5 million to support Franklin County residents through community events and educational opportunities, uplifting our diverse community through addressing health inequities and career exploration in our upcoming DEI conference, as well as support scholarships, participating in career fair opportunities to increase our diverse workforce, supporting research needed to increase small and emerging businesses participation, and continuing to advance the economic growth of Franklin County through sponsorship of events that encourage diversity, tourism, and education. Pending any questions, I respectfully request your approval of this resolution.
Great. Okay, if there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 380-24.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 380-24 has been adopted. Resolution number 381-24, resolution authorizing the county administrator to execute an agreement with the NCBC Human Services Corporation to support the Delta Sigma Theta Incorporated 51st Midwest Regional Conference in the amount of $300,000.
Commissioners, this resolution is for the NCBC Human Services Corporation, whose mission is placing a priority on people, was created to bridge a support for the community. Their goals center around relationship building, between people and community, various like-minded organizations to affect positive changes in the community. The NCBC Human Services Corporation will serve as the fiscal agent for the Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated 51st Midwest Regional Conference in Columbus, Ohio, that will engage government leaders, corporate executives, industry leaders, youth, college students, and adults in a 4-day event where attendees will experience daily educational and economic development workshops, minority-owned business expo, Collegiate Day, Youth Summit, fitness session, and entertainment activities. Some highlights for the conference will support Delta Deer Lunching, serving 600 women ages 62 and wiser who will come together for fellowship, physical and mental health focuses, and empowerment sessions. Also partnering with AARP for a seminar on brain health. Minority-owned businesses will spend time on being supported through the Exhibitor Expo and by hosting workshops geared towards building minority-owned businesses. In addition, a youth summit will focus on educational development, economic development, physical health, mental health, political awareness, and involvement in social action, international awareness, and involvement. This agreement aligns with the Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Economic Equity Goal to expand economic equity collaboration with community partners that increase supplier diversity and opportunity for Franklin County. Kendra Moore, Conference Coordinator, is here to provide remarks and answer questions, and she is joined by members in the audience of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Kendra?
Good morning. We are excited to be here. And to the change agents leading our county, the Franklin County Board of Commissioners, thank you for this opportunity to briefly present this morning. I am Kendra Moyer, proud and active member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated and the conference coordinator for the 51st Midwest Regional Conference. On behalf of our Midwest Regional Director, Ms. Brittany N. Blackwell, who is joining us virtually, and our Midwest Regional Representative, Ms. Aaliyah Oliver, who jointly oversee 9,000 members and 125 chapters across 8 states and the province of Ontario, we would like to express our gratitude to the Franklin County Board of Commissioners for considering supporting our organization for its conference here in Columbus, Ohio. We are thrilled to have the opportunity to host our conference here, and we know that it will be beyond successful. Our conference will be held from August 1st through the 4th, 2024, and we expect to bring over 6,000 guests to our beautiful city where I am privileged to call home. Our conference theme, The Delta Takeover, Connecting Champions for Change, aims to bring together leaders and innovators across our region to share ideas and to inspire change. The conference will be engaging, empowering, and enlightening to all who will attend. Some key highlights of our conference include a youth summit hosted on the campus of the Ohio State University, which will serve middle and high school students across Franklin County. We will also serve college students during our action-packed Collegiate Day, and minoritized women from across our region will participate in workshops on physical and mental health, the power of social action, the strength of public service, DEI training. We will offer free childcare and much more. For our local community, we plan to host public events that would also bring the presence to downtown areas. We believe that Franklin County's vibrant community and strong commitment to progress makes it the perfect location for our conference. With your support, we are confident that we can create a truly memorable and impactful event. Before I close, I'd like to recognize the change agents that are in the gallery representing our illustrious sorority. Our chapter president, Tamara Staley, if you could please stand. Our executive committee, who serve with her leading our local chapter, Columbus, Ohio alumni, if you could stand, as we celebrate 90 years of elevating our community here in Franklin County, my conference co-coordinator, Kristen Harper, and some incredible hardworking conference committee leaders who are helping to bring over 6,000 guests to Franklin County. Thank you all for your leadership in our community. Thank you again for considering sponsoring us for this monumental conference. We are excited and we are looking forward to working together to bring so many individuals to Franklin County, where we call home. Thank you so very much.
Do you have something to add to that, DCA Bivens? You have that look on your face, and I'm just gonna go ahead and give you the floor.
Thank you, commissioners. We support all organizations, but I wanted to personally thank you as a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. I just celebrated my 27th year.
You just had to throw that in there, didn't you?
Yes, let's say that. My 27th year, and the work that these women do, not just in Columbus, Ohio, but throughout the globe, is impeccable, it's incredible, and it's impactful. You always know a Delta woman when they walk in the room because a Delta woman changes the environment. I'm excited to see what happens during this conference. I'm excited to see the impact that and the deposit that you all will make in our community. So thank you so much. I appreciate you, and thank you again, commissioners, for being so generous.
Did you say 31 years?
I said 27. Back up.
You said
She
27?
said-
Okay.
I said 27.
Okay, I'm
My
sorry.
specialist in the
Okay.
room who made me.
Okay, all right. Well, I know I speak on behalf of my colleagues here when we say we're grateful that you have chosen to have your convening here in Franklin County in Central Ohio. There's so much to offer, not just the folks who live, work, and play here, but those who visit us. And I think there couldn't be a better platform to illustrate and demonstrate the work of Delta Sigma Theta Incorporated in the work that you all do. I'm always amazed that, I've been a member of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated for 31 years. That's where I got the 31 from, And, but what I'm always amazed when it comes to sororities and fraternities, particularly Black Greek letter organizations, is, many of us went over in undergrad or when we were younger, and then a lot of people come in now. That's great. But what I'm always amazed at is the community service and commitment that each of the sororities and fraternities continue to display and illustrate. The work that Delta Sigma Theta does is incredible, is absolutely incredible. And you set the tone not just for young women who are watching you and wanting to pattern their lives after you, but you set that tone for everybody. It doesn't matter if you're male, female, black, white, Delta Sigma Theta, along with the other sororities and fraternities, carry a banner and flag that we all should aspire to live our lives like and have that kind of impact. And so we're just thrilled and excited to see Delta Sigma Theta, the national convening here. And I look over the room and see all my friends. I know almost everybody over there. And there are no words to describe how much we appreciate your continued commitment to public service. Even you, Sally, it's an inside joke. She always says mean things to me, but if you know her, it's just the way it is. But in all seriousness, you exemplify, like your sorority sisters, you exemplify what it means to be a part of something greater than yourself. And moreover, the sorority represents wanting a better future for everyone else. And that's really what we all have alike. I mean, my wife's an AKA, and I know all the other sororities. But at the end of the day, what we all consistently do together is work to create a better life and a better world than the way we found it, in the way we experienced it, in the way we were mentored or not mentored. And I think you are in a class by yourself, and you set a standard. And I think the conference will be a good conversation, a good convening. The youth workshop, all those things will be great. But I really want to plant the seed that this is the work that you do every day. It's the conference. You'll see all the crimson and cream everywhere, and you'll see elephants, and you'll see all these things. But this is the work that you all do every single day. And I can go on and on and on about examples where I know young women or even young men who have been impacted by your leadership. And that's the real legacy that the conference will have. It's the real legacy that the local chapters will have, and it's the real legacy that will be left behind when we're picking up everything and going to the next event after the conference. So congratulations. Thank you for choosing Central Ohio. And we don't normally do this, but I'm gonna take a personal point of privilege and ask if we maybe take a photo that we can all use. And we can promote it on our website to our folks that are here. We can promote the convening on our website. We can talk about it, and we can all kind of really uplift the convening in a way that's meaningful. And DCA Bibbs, I hope you'll join us for the photo.
Just really, thank you, Commissioner. I forgot to wear my red today. I was rushing really quick, though, but I will. I have on light red today. Is this the first time that I think Franklin County has partnered with Delta Sigma Theta sorority in this way? I'm not for sure because I don't know, but I believe this is the first time. This is a historic
believe it
Kendria,
is,
that
Madam
this is the
President.
first time that
I
we have
believe it
partnered
is.
with this organization,
Yes.
excuse me, in this way. So I want to say thank you to all of you for trusting us.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Commissioner Boyce, if you don't,
please,
President Boyce, I'm sorry.
Commissioner Brady.
So Franklin County's proud to be sponsoring the conference, obviously, but if I could ask DCA Long if the first week of August, if we might light the courthouse in red
Oh, that'd be a great idea.
Absolutely.
in honor of the conference. So,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
so we can get that done. So while your conference is here, we will make sure, barring any other reason why there be, it's not national, whatever, but for whatever reason, we should have no problem lighting the conference red, or the courthouse red.
Absolutely, Commissioners. And as a colleague to Deputy County Administrator Joy Bivens, every day is a Delta takeover day.
All right, photo time.
Well, is there, is there a motion to
Oh, I'm
accept the
sorry.
resolution?
If there are no other comments or questions, I will move for approval of Resolution 38124.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 38124 has been adopted.
Great, we'll do a photo right up here, ladies, on this.
Taking a photo. At least I'm not wearing pink.
It's like red.
Light red. I already gave her that. I didn't call it.
I'm trying to I don't want to mess up the line, I'll squeeze back in with
President Boyce. That can come in the back.
We're not balanced. I'm sorry. Can we shift this way just a little bit, a little more balanced? Yeah. Let me look. Thank you.
And can you stack a second row on this side? Can you give me some Commissioner Brady in between Melissa and? You're in the window. Okay.
I've always liked, I love it.
Yeah.
Okay. You're saying, okay.
I want to get my phone put down, something like that.
I can hear me.
We're gonna pyramid.
Take y'all's moment, y'all's moment. Absolutely, yeah, of course, great job. Pleasure all mine. Our president. Absolutely. She's giving us a hard time, but, All right. Keeping it moving. All right, next is economic development planning.
Resolution number 38224, resolution authorizing a working agreement between the Franklin Soil and Water Conservation District and the Franklin County Board of Commissioners on behalf of Franklin County Economic Development and Planning Department to support conservation of soil and water quality protection efforts in the amount of $56,000.
Good morning, Commissioners, Administrators. I'm Emmanuel Torres, Assistant Director of Economic Development and Planning, and this resolution seeks your approval for an agreement with the Franklin Soil and Water Conservation District for the time period of January 1st, 2024 to December 31st, 2024. The agreement is to provide assistance to Franklin County in meeting Ohio Environmental Protection Agency's small municipal separate stormwater sewers systems, general permit requirements for construction, site stormwater control, and post-construction stormwater management. In addition, the Soil and Water Conservation District provides natural resource services to the Economic Development and Planning Department for development proposals and planning activities. Joining us virtually from the Franklin Soil and Water Conservation District, we have Director Jennifer Fish and Assistant Director Kyle Wilson. Should you have any questions, pending any, I respectfully request your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 38224.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 38224 has been adopted. Resolution number 38324, resolution authorizing an intergovernmental agreement with the City of Columbus Building and Zoning Services Department for electrical inspection services in the amount of $116,666.69.
Commissioners, this next resolution seeks your approval for an intergovernmental agreement with the City of Columbus Building and Zoning Services Department. The state of Ohio requires our department to have a certified electrical safety inspector conduct electrical inspections for permits pulled within Franklin County. The county, through EDP, has had a contract with the City of Columbus for the last few years to offer this service. This agreement covers the term of January 1st, 2024 through July 31st, 2024. Pending any questions, I respectfully request your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 38324.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 38324 has been adopted. Resolution number 38424, resolution authorizing the execution of the attached discharge of mortgage instrument for J.C. Meyer at 3604 Briggs Road, Columbus, Ohio, 43204.
Commissioners, this next resolution seeks your approval to authorize the execution of a discharge of mortgage for this borrower, J.C. Meyer, who received a housing assistance grant on December 19, 2012, in the amount of $15,000 from Franklin County Commissioners. The borrower has paid off this loan and fulfilled all loan obligations. Pending any questions, I respectfully request your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 38424.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 38424 has been adopted. Resolution number 38524, resolution authorizing the Board of Franklin County Commissioners to approve the attached discharge of mortgage for Alvin K. Riley and Carolyn A. Riley at 55 Santa Maria Lane, Whitehall, Ohio, 43213.
Commissioners, this last resolution seeks your approval to authorize the execution of this discharge of mortgage. Borrowers, Mr. Alvin K. and Caroline A. Riley, received a housing assistance grant on November 5th, 2007, in the amount of $15,000 from Franklin County Commissioners. This loan has been paid off and all obligations have been fulfilled. Pending any questions, I respectfully request your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 38524.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 38524 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Next, we have Job and Family Services.
Sorry, yeah.
Resolution number 38624, resolution approving a COVID-19 recovery grant with Impact Community Action for the Housing Stability Navigator Program in the amount of $150,000.
Good morning, Commissioners. Bart Logan, Franklin County Job and Family Services. Since 2021, we have partnered with Impact Community Action to offer housing navigations program that enables families to acquire the tools and skills necessary to support housing and financial stability. The program takes a multi-generational approach and seeks to ultimately limit the number of individuals that face a reoccurrence of homelessness, ideally prevent facing homelessness in the first place, as well as support and help stabilize housing by enrolling families in additional services, getting things like case management, resource linkages, and tenants' rights education that support financial stability and self-sufficiency. In the second year of the program last year, the Housing Stability Navigator assisted 90 families with their housing needs, and 70% of those families enrolled successfully completed the program. Navigators and families they served found it was increasingly difficult to obtain alternative housing once they have significant barriers, so things like multiple evictions or recent eviction or limited income. And so Impact really put an additional emphasis on tenant-landlord mediation this time around to provide rental counseling and to keep families in their current housing whenever possible. So during this award period, Impact plans to serve 100 families and has established a goal to increase that successful completion percentage to 80% of families meeting the program objectives and their housing plans. And this program aligns with your Rise Together Blueprint goal number 6, enabling more families at or near the poverty level to afford quality housing and reduce the percentage of housing cost burden families. Pending any questions, we respectively request your approval.
You okay?
Oh, I'm just tongue-tied.
DCA Bivens has a question.
Yes.
Thank you, Bart. Just really quick, and I see our Director of Child Support is in the room, as well as some of our other human service agencies. I think this is a great program, but I would be remiss if I did not ask, respectively from the commissioners and our agencies, if we can start working with our agencies on not just those who are, those in the benefits cliff area, particularly, and then also looking at some of what the other counties are doing, utilizing AI to prevent homelessness, and then also promoting, I think more frequently, those folks who have faced an eviction. What can we do now? What are we putting out now via our websites, our social media, so folks know where to go when they have those issues? Because I think many times they don't know until they walk through a door on where to go to get something, dismissed. So I think, more frequently we need to be educating the community on those types of resources, and then also tracking. We know that 76% of our residents in the shelters are African American female mothers, right? How do we become more active and engage in decreasing those numbers, but also educating the community so they can have the resources before they get there?
Absolutely.
Okay. No worries.
Commissioners, or a motion?
Yeah, if there are no further comments or questions, I will move approval of Resolution 38624.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting, Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 38624 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Resolution number 38724, resolution approving a contract agreement with Pioneered Engagement for conference strategy and coordination of the first Franklin County Board of Commissioners Men's Empowerment Summit in the amount of $50,400.
Good morning, Commissioners and County Administrators. My name is David Kimbrough. I am the Deputy Director of Strategic Initiatives, overseeing the mobile units, overseeing the Family Stabilization Unit, and the Men's Empowerment Network. So today I want to just kind of give some information about what we want to do with this Men's Empowerment Summit. We are now, when I think about the term every resident, every day, when pondering that mantra, every resident, every day, 3 things come to mind. The standard of excellence and accountability that has been raised to serve all our residents in the quest for economic mobility and sustainability, inclusiveness, regardless of city or side of town, race, gender identity, economic status, or religious affiliation. Franklin County is committed to serving our residents where the presence of equity is experienced by all who reside here. and urgency. Urgency to right any wrongs that may have been imposed on our residents through laws and policies that do not embody equitable outcomes for all. As laid out in the Rise Together Poverty Blueprint Plan, unfortunately, everyone has not been able to benefit from all that this county offers. As racism has been deemed a public health crisis and also gun violence a public health crisis, I believe that another crisis upon us impedes the growth of our community and the promotion of healthy families. That crisis exists amongst our men in Franklin County and nationwide. Issues such as mental health, homelessness, unemployment and underemployment, education barriers are present for all people, but particularly men. Right now in Franklin County, 80% of deaths by suicide are men, exceeding our global average of 75%. And Commissioner Boyce, I think you would be interested in this. While depression is more commonly diagnosed in women, it is estimated that about 6 million men in the U.S. experience depression each year. It's important to note that men may be less likely to report symptoms of depression, leading to undiagnosis, undertreatment, and self-medication, mostly in the area of substance abuse. And so we understand, because those things have not been reported, that those numbers, that $6 million number, could be deflated. Nationally, men are more likely to engage in substance abuse, with about 9.2% in the U.S. meeting the criteria for substance abuse disorder, while the number of women is a little over 5%. The Franklin County Forensic Science Center Office of the Coroners reports that in 2017 to 2021, 77% of overdose deaths were reported predominantly in descendants identified as male. Homelessness, and I know that this number is not represented in the actual shelters, right? But the Community Shelter Board served about 5,984 adults in 2022. 77% of those numbers were men, and 63% of that number were African American men. In neighborhoods adversely affected by redlining, the average income for men is $25,000 annually. However, Black men average around $19,000. And in fact, in the most concentrated poverty areas, Black men on average earn about $400 less per week than their white counterparts, which end up being about $20,000 a year, and generationally over $400,000. In those same areas, while incarceration rates for all men have been increased over time, Black men in particular are incarcerated at 3 times the rate of their white counterparts. All of these statistics may seem dismal to those who are in the room. However, when I look around the room and I can take an assessment of the women that are in the room, there are those of you who stand as you see the shattered glass of oppression and those things at your feet, because you've done things to overcome barriers. But I also see men in the room. I see men that are leaders, men who are county commissioners, men who are county administrators. I see policemen and firemen and fathers and mentors and brothers and all of those people in the audience. And so I'm filled with hope. I'm filled with hope because what I see in the room, and dare I say that all men are not deadbeats, and all men are not shirking responsibility. I know men who choose the rugged terrain of sacrifice for their families and their community on a daily basis. The Men's Empowerment Network that I oversee, along with other programs, work with those men every day. This summit is going to be a launching pad for new and emerging practices, such as the collective impact model that you hear about the Men's Empowerment Network, and the reemergence of 100 Black men, as you can see many of our represented here today in this room. It is also an avenue to work collaboratively to meet our residents' needs and to ensure that our work leads to population-wide change for our county and residents. And lastly, this summit is to be a springboard to address issues not just from a programmatic viewpoint, but as our county is program rich in some ways. But it is to consider our issues from a policy level to move into a future with pride and dignity. That pride is knowing that we have done our due diligence to create a society where people can feel proud to raise their children. And so, as we know, sometimes when we, as men, engage in the systems, in this health and human services ecosystem, Oftentimes, they may seem to be written out of policy and laws, not necessarily because they are men, but because of their situatedness. And their situatedness would exclude them because oftentimes, as we know, our households, I think over 70% of our single-parent led households are led by women. And so because we are not what is the parent, the word I'm looking for? Custodial parent, yep, because we're not the custodial parents, then oftentimes we're written out of those policies. This summit is going to be the springboard, not only to be able to address those policies and not just to convene, just for convening's sake, but there is a plan that we want to come up with that will identify what is necessary for men from day one, from their first day to their last day. And so if pending any questions or concerns or comments, we ask for your approval for this.
Did you say, Bivens, you have some comments, questions?
Just really quick, thank you, David.
Thank you.
Excellent job. I did want to mention, Commissioners, that you do have your partnering organizations that's going to be assisting with the summit. I see Kenny Hampton from African American Wellness Agency in the back room, as well as, of course, the gentleman from 100 Black Men in the room as well. And I'll be remiss, since Delta Sigma Theta is in the room, both Kenny and David are married to Deltas.
Absolutely.
Well, it made me just, Jerry, you back there now? You was over here with the Deltas. What happened? I don't know what happened, but okay. you got demoted. They pushed you back, man. They're like, get out of here, man. Right, the Delta. Right, that's the name of the conference. Yeah, the Delta Takeover. Well, first of all, let me recognize David. He's working very hard to pull this together, and I want to just acknowledge that the entire team of county employees who are leading a conversation about convening Black men, but with the understanding that the plight of Black men has a broader impact on the broader community, and that's really what this conversation is about. And I'm just thrilled and excited to know that Franklin County has the platform to be able to provide that conversation. We're grateful to work with the African American Wellness Walk and men there. They're doing an incredible job, and they've set the tone because physical health and goes with mental health hand in hand. And I think even what we've learned through the and Kenny, why don't you come up? Why don't you come up for a second? What we've learned from the African American Wellness Walk is that mental health is health care. And that's been a deeper conversation. But we're working together to create a platform and environment that uplifts the entire system, and that's really what I'm excited about. We first started this conversation, it wasn't about recreating the wheel to say, well, we can do it this way, they do this. It was really about how can we build upon the progress and growth that we've made as a community, because when you go out to that wellness walk, I don't know how many people show up now, but I mean, it's literally thousands and thousands and thousands. And moreover, more than just the walk, is the screenings that take place and folks checking their numbers to begin, at the very least, a conscientious process about your health care, and at the most, maybe actually getting the kind of medical care that you need to live a healthier life. And now when you maybe juxtaposition that with mental health, now you've got a whole being, a whole well-being that can happen. And when statistically you look at African American men who are almost at the bottom rung of nearly every category that you can think of, at nearly every category, hypertension, diabetes, obesity, graduation rates, dropout rates. I mean, you can go down the list. You had really interesting statistics about incarceration rates, and then there's a dozen or so statistics that go with that about the plight of Black men on that statistic alone. And then you mentioned Black families being head up over 70% by essentially single moms. You didn't say it that way, but that's essentially what's happening. And that's connected to those incarceration rates. It's connected to those mental health rates. It's connected to the healthcare rates. And so this is a serious conversation, but I want the folks listening and watching to understand it's not just simply about Black men. This is an investment in the entire community. This is an investment that allows us to really make an effort to change the narrative, not just for Black men, but for Central Ohio in a way that might even be able to start a national conversation. So I wanted to acknowledge these guys are working really hard at this. I think it's going to be a great convening. I think it won't stop with this one kind of session. I think it will go beyond that. I don't know if Commissioner Grady has anything to offer, but Kenny, I don't know, do you want to just chime in terms of working together? Appreciate you being here and support.
Absolutely. No, I'll be brief. Good morning, and thanks for just the invite. But when we got the call that this was something that was an opportunity for us to partner with the county in this space, we didn't even think twice about it. To the tune of, we actually got an 8 a.m. meeting again tomorrow, don't we? Yes. But we've committed to doing this in partnership, because that's what we're trying to build throughout Central Ohio and also across the country, is that we have to partner together. There's only so much that we can do as individuals, and it's time for us to, it's okay for us to have friendly competition, but collaboration is exactly what this community needs. And so the support from the commissioners, but also with this partnership that we have and with the 100 Black Men, we're excited, because this is how we holistically support the entire family, and supporting our men and really making it a point to say it's time for our men to get the support that's needed, because our physical health and our mental health are two important parts of our lives. And here's what we're trying to do, is really trying to make it clear that at the end of the day, this is something that we are going to say not on our watch, where we're going to just watch our men go down this dark path. There's a McKinsey report that stated that by year 2030, African-American men will be at the bottom of the totem pole of some critical areas. And we're just saying no. We're going to respond to that. We're going to do everything we can in partnership. So today we're excited, because this is just the first of many opportunities for us to show the community that we're serious about challenging our men to partner with us in this space, but more importantly for us to go to that next step of leadership.
Yeah, and we've got some real leaders in this community. I mean, Jerry Saunders, back there, I was joking with him earlier, but Jerry has been on the forefront of men's mental health and substance abuse addiction forever. And there's really not a person that can't guide us better in this conversation. So I hope, DCA Bivens, David, I hope that we're working closely with Jerry and his group and team. And I see Greg back there. I see so many others that do this work. We don't have to recreate the wheel. There are bits and pieces that are happening in this community. If we bring them together, we can really create something that might be meaningful. So, Commissioner Grady, anything to add before we move this resolution?
See if I can do this. As a white man, this is kind of a hard conversation for me to wander into. So let me see if I can do this in the right way. My whole life, my whole career, I've been hearing, I've been hearing the community, I've been hearing the culture, the conversation's always been around telling Black men that they needed to do more, they needed to step up, they needed to, and they, needed to be better. They needed to just always, telling Black men that they needed to, be better than they were. And it's just, it feels good to be a part of an organization, Franklin County, work with colleagues where we're actually helping that happen, where we're working with David, who's doing phenomenal work, to work with, organizations like yours and Mr. Gregory's and 100 Black Men, where we're actually doing, I'm a part of helping to do that, instead of, always, hearing the narrative that we've always heard, right, to be able to be a part of, actually helping men in this community be able to do what's necessary for them to be able to step up and for us to be able to help with that. It just feels good.
Commissioner Grady, I want to acknowledge you too. I mean, to be honest with you, since I've been here, this is my 7th year in the commission, and we've had this conversation about racism and our work to try to address that. And you've been a good partner, man. You've been a person that you don't have to beat upside the head to try to get him to get it. He understands it. It's a part of his own value system. And I've seen you grow in the conversation at a level that I think is quite impressive. If only the rest of the world could embrace the idea of growth in this conversation, I think we'd be living in a better place. The other part about it is for Commissioner O'Grady and myself, and I know Commissioner Crawley, if she was here, she'd be agreeing with this, is that, we're still learning in terms of how we can impact this conversation. Earlier, you saw our DE&I efforts. When we first, we were sort of at the front of the trend for DE&I. But it wasn't just enough for us to create DEI and say, okay, good luck. We've really been committed to the deeper dive conversation, and that's how we're able to, for the first time, support a convening and understand the value of that convening for the broader Franklin County. I want to say it's easy to put money on the table. It's never easy, but that's the easy part of it, is making the decision to apply money to it. But it's important to understand the broader context of the impact. And that's what these illustrations are today. And so this convening, from the Delta Sigma Theta convening to this empowerment convening to the wellness walk that you all hosted, the 100 Black Men and all the work that's happening, I really believe the needle is moving. I really believe that our narrative is changing right, under our noses. And so let's keep up the great work, guys. Let's keep working together and let's figure this thing out. Kenny spoke about the McKinsey report and the what it's suggesting in terms of men. Maybe that was you, David. One of you guys spoke about it. What it's suggesting men will be in years to come. It would be a travesty if we didn't take that on. We would be disappointing the public that we serve if we didn't try to get ahead of that and invest resources to stave that off. And so let's talk more about that. Let's share that report, and so everybody understands why we're investing this. And I'm not on this stuff because I'm a Black man and I know I understand the plight. I'm on this stump because I want everyone to understand the value for the broader public. And that this isn't just about Black men. It is about making our community better to live, work, and raise families in. And that's really what that investment means. DCA,
Just
you're
really
on
quick,
the edge of your seat.
because I listened to Commissioner O'Grady's comments, and I just needed to make a really quick pause. I appreciate all the commissioners, but I remember when we did the Poverty Blueprint Plan, and when you all said, Joy, you got to figure this out on how we can get this universal plan, one of the things we talked about was racism. And many times when people hear racism, everyone cringes, like, oh, do we have to talk about that? It makes people feel uncomfortable. Commissioner O'Grady was one of the first to say, we're going to call it out, we're going to own it, and we're going to try to do something about it. I had to go to a convening with predominantly folks in a room that didn't look like me. And the night before I called Commissioner O'Grady, I said, Commissioner O'Grady, I have to show them their data. I'm going to say some things to them that they're not going to, and he said, I got it. I walked in a room, Commissioner O'Grady handled the conversation and said, the system is racist. The data shows it is racist, and we have to do something about it as a community, collectively. So I really want people to understand that, it's easy for a Black person or a brown person or whatever person to talk about injustice. But when you have allies who don't just talk about it, but be about it, it is a tremendous blessing. So thank you, Commissioner O'Grady, for your comments.
Well said. Is there a motion, resolution?
Yeah. If there are no other comments or questions, I'm going to approve Resolution 38724.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 38724 has been adopted.
Great, thank you guys. Yep, David, good
Thanks,
job.
guys. Great work.
Justice Policy Program.
Resolution number 38824, resolution authorizing a sub-grant award with Shelter in Place for community-based services for individuals diverted from the prison system and/or at high risk for future criminal justice involvement under the FY 2024 Targeted Community Alternatives to Prison Grant Program in the amount of $100,000.
Good morning, Commissioners and County Administration. I'm Caitlin Looney, Deputy Director of Justice Services with the Office of Justice Policy and Programs. This resolution supports a sub-grant award with a local nonprofit organization, Shelter in Place. With this award, Shelter in Place will provide safe, stable, and sober housing for tier-registered sexual offenders. 2 of their housing facilities have been approved for this project as they are appropriately zoned to house individuals with sexual offenses, a population that frequently face barriers to accessing housing, resulting in homelessness and the inability to meet registration and monitoring criteria. During their stay with Shelter in Place, a case manager will work with them to attain employment, provide case management, and successfully transition them into long-term independent housing that meet the criteria for the registration tier. The award will fund a total of 8 beds for referrals from the Franklin County Community-Based Correctional Facility, the Adult Parole Authority, Franklin County Probation Offices, and the Office of Justice Policy and Programs. If approved, the project period will run through June of 2025 and will be funded through the TCAP grant program. This resolution supports goal number 5 of the Rise Together Blueprint for Reducing Poverty Plan by increasing the supply of and equitable opportunity to access quality housing. Pending any questions, we request your approval of this resolution.
There are no comments or questions. I'll move approval of resolution 388-24.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 388-24 has been adopted.
Next is sanitary engineers.
Resolution number 389-24. Resolution authorizing a third modification to the contract with Amic Consulting Group LLC for funding acquisition services in the amount of $430,130.55.
Good morning, Commissioners and County Administration. I'm Stephen Renner, the Director of the Department of Sanitary Engineering. Resolution number 578-20 authorized an original agreement between the Franklin County Board of Commissioners and Amic Municipal Consulting Group for consulting project management regarding funding acquisition via loans and grants from the state of Ohio for continuous improvement of our water and sewer capital assets, as well as to evaluate individual personal applications for financial assistance to connect to our sanitary sewers. Since then, 2 modifications have made the original agreement. Resolution 883-21 and Resolution 923-22 and continued the services of the scope of work. Our department, Commissioners, has a continuing need for all these services to remain successful with our goals to modernizing our water and sanitary sewer assets, as well as finding solutions to help Franklin County residents with the high cost of connecting to our sanitary sewers. Through this third contract modification, the following notable tasks are included: application evaluation for connections phase assistance for several sanitary sewer capital projects, funding nominations, applications, and facility plan submissions for our sanitary sewer and water projects in order to obtain needed funding from the different agencies, monitoring of our previously funded sanitary sewer connections through assistance program to ensure continued compliance with programmatic requirements, and any additional future projects as needed. The period of this third modification is to be 2 years, starting on January of this year through December 31st, 2025. There are 3 outstanding invoices for costs incurred in the amount of $40,382.10. We respectfully approve we request your approval of this contract modification. Sorry about that.
No problem.
It's already approved. We're good.
Yeah. Why am I speaking?
All right, if there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of resolution 389-24.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 389-24 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you. Purchasing.
Resolution number 390-24. Resolution approving purchases for various Franklin County agencies in the amount of $2,874,104.27.
Good morning, Commissioners. Megan
Morning.
Perry Valenier, Director of Purchasing. And let me see, I'm sorry. D'Amico Withers was going to join me this morning. I think she's having some connectivity issues. So I will move forward. This resolution, Commissioners, requests your approval of 85 purchase orders for which the county auditor has pre-certified available funding. 20 of the purchase orders being presented are being awarded to small and emerging businesses. Those are totaling $1,308,864.56. 4% of those are going to small and emerging businesses, 7% to minority-owned businesses, and 11% to women-owned businesses. 11 agencies will have provided equitable and inclusive opportunities to small businesses this week. And pending any questions, I respectfully request your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 39024.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting, Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 39024 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Great, thank you. Board of Commissioners.
Resolution number 39124, resolution reappointing Joe Mazzola as the Franklin County Board of Commissioners representative on the Central Ohio Trauma System Board. Commissioners, this is a 3-year appointment, and he's been a member in good standing, and so pending any questions, asking for your approval on this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 39124.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting, Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 39124 has been adopted. Resolution number 39224, resolution reaffirming the authority of the county administrator to enter into intergovernmental agreements with political subdivisions and other governmental entities.
Good morning, Commissioners. Zach Tularic with the Office of Management and Budget. Previously, the board had approved Resolution 112-12 that authorized the county administrator to enter into intergovernmental agreements with various political subdivisions. Based on a review of the resolution with the prosecutor's office, this resolution would reaffirm that authority, but does add in the requirements that the agreements must be approved as to form by the prosecutor's office, as well as having the reporting requirements by the clerk for each month, similar to recent resolutions that have been approved. So pending any questions, would ask your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 39224.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting, Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 39224 has been adopted.
Thank you. Are there any generalizations?
Yes, we have 2. Case number ANX-08-24, an expedited Type 1 annexation petition, ANX-08-24, was filed with the Franklin County Economic Development and Planning Department on April 26, 2024. The petition is requesting to annex 0.272 acres from Blendon Township to the city of Columbus. The petition will be considered by the Board of Commissioners on May 14, 2024. The site is 2700 Minerva Avenue, PID number 110-002840. And finally, the document that has been presented with each of you, in front of each of you today will be emailed to your offices and is being journalized as required under Resolution Number 68323, the no-cost amendment resolution. The clerk's office has been tracking each of the contracts that is signed under this authority, and the list will be provided and captured in today's meeting minutes.
All right. Well, that concludes our meeting for today, and y'all have a great week.